First of all, I think that God intervened through Melissa and her chatting with one of her friends about her friend and her husband had gone to this retreat, or they call it an encounter. And Melissa talked to me about it and asked me if I would be willing to do that. And at that point in time, I was willing to do whatever it took in order to save our marriage. And I said yes. And basically, we were shown how to talk to one another appropriately, again, how to treat one another, how to really understand the other person's perspective and feelings.
It was this or signing the divorce papers. We spent the entire weekend focused on our problems, and really the bottom line was the fact that we didn't just put each other on the back burner, we put God on the back burner.
Yeah.
So we were able to work through all the little stuff that the devil tends to make really big and right in our face, and realize that that is not why we came together in a union anyway. We came together to love one another as God loves us, and to treat one another with respect and build a family and have all these awesome things that are all inclusive to love, and not all this hatred that it had become. So forgiveness happened on that weekend, and priorities changed. They changed for me, and my priorities were going to change regardless if Sam's changed or not. And I think that was, for me, that was a big thing, because God came first. It was a declaration of my devotion to God and what He wanted me to do. Sam came second, and we had to discuss that at length about how we felt about it and what my feelings meant versus what his feelings meant, and we had to listen. And ultimately, we stayed married. We're fairly happy.
Fairly. Yeah.
God did for us what we absolutely could not do for ourselves.
Absolutely.
And that was maintain a relationship. Because I was completely incapable of listening and communicating without being demeaning.
But it was all those little things. It was the lack of communication. It was the not checking in with one another, the snide remarks, the taking for granted of one another, that boiled up and to the point where it was kind of like two ships passing in the night more than a partnership in a relationship. And
usually there were cannons going off. At
times, yes, at times.
You would pass each other just enough to leave a broadside.
Leave a barrage
Yes.
of, insults or whatever. But, today, yes, we have our issues, but nothing like that today. At that point, we didn't like each other anymore. And that was sad. And we were both sad about that. And it was, I don't know of anything else other than God intervening that saved us at that point.
My God moment for our marriage was when we got the assignment, and it was on the Saturday of the weekend. And this started on Friday night and didn't end until late afternoon on Sunday, so it was probably Saturday evening-ish, early evening. We got an assignment that we were to spend a whole hour and a half talking to one another. But the assignment beforehand, we had to write all our assignments out, was for us to write down everything about that person that wasn't okay. And that's the moment where I was able to get it all out on paper and forgive Sam for the things I thought he had done wrong. So forgiveness was the key for me. I know that's what opened the door for God to come in and just wrap his arms around both of us. Because we were to the point where an hour and a half we have to talk to one another and nobody else around. Are you kidding? Let's turn the TV on.
Yeah.
We talked for a lot longer than an hour and a half that night.
Yeah. And cried. And
Yeah.
laughed. And cried some more. And laughed some more.
And realized that we were still friends. The parts we liked about each other were still there.